Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, Washington. Delta Dental is on a mission. Our state has a lot to smile about, and we think those smiles should be healthy and bright. That's why our Tooth Fairies taught over 30,000 kids the importance of dental care. Whether it's in the classroom or online, they make good habits stick and spread a little magic along the way with free programs, parent resources, and of course, toothbrushes. The Tooth Fairy experience is helping us get closer to being 100% cavity-free. Learn more at cavityfreewa.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle, an Odyssey station. That's right, man. Radio.com is now Odyssey. And if you already had Radio.com, well, now it's the Odyssey app, so you're good. But if you don't have the Odyssey app, you got to get it. First of all, you can listen to us. You can listen to The Rock. Anywhere you got that app, you can check it out. Plus, all the music, all the news, sports, and podcasts that move you, available on Odyssey. Some really cool new podcasts, too, that we got on Odyssey. That's AUDACY, Odyssey.
Let's play B-Mix. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. B-Mix, don't be a loser. Whoa! B-Mix, you're a loser.
It is time to be Migs, but it's Wednesday, so maybe we could whack Migs instead.
Whack it.
Let me see everybody do their Mr. Wacky then.
All right.
Whack it.
Of course, that won't be the case if Steve himself decides to be Mr. Wacky.
Thank you. That happens sometimes.
It does. Let's get to our contestant. We got Christina in Kirkland. Christina, are you there?
I am.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Christina will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Christina, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who played the title character in the 80s mystery drama television series Matlock?
Pass.
Dwight Gooden is famous for playing what sport?
Hockey.
No.
Basketball.
No.
Baseball.
No. What'd you say there?
Baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
The League of Nations was replaced by what organization?
Pass.
CSI Miami's opening credits song is Won't Get Fooled Again by which band?
The Who.
Yes. In which decade did the movie Casablanca premiere?
30s.
No.
40s.
Yes. In 2000, who became the first Asian woman to host Saturday Night Live?
Margaret Cho.
No.
I pass.
Who was the U.S.'s first Postmaster General?
Oh my God. I have no idea.
Oh, well, Christina got 3 correct. Didn't drop the deuce, and these are some tougher questions.
Yeah, they were tough, but
Yep,
yeah.
some history
I'm
ones.
kind of ashamed of myself right now.
Aw. Well, I mean, you tried.
So good job.
It's cool.
I'm trying to make her feel better, but she already knows how it went. So.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah. Congratulations, Steve.
Oh, wow. I appreciate it. Hey, Steve. Well,
It's going to be one of those games, huh?
Hey, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I hope so. Who played the title character in the 80s mystery drama television series Matlock?
I don't know, Gordon Soley.
No? Who's that?
Yeah. He's a wrestling announcer.
Oh.
Old one. Lawrence Arabia.
No. That's it.
John Madden.
No. Dwight Gooden is famous for playing what sport?
Baseball.
Yes.
And cocaine.
Whoa. The League of Nations was replaced by what organization?
The Justice League.
No.
The Avengers?
No.
The United Nations.
Yes. CSI Miami's opening credits song is Won't Get Fooled Again by which band?
The Who.
Yes. In which decade did the movie Casablanca premiere?
50s.
No.
40s.
Yes. In 2000, who became the first Asian woman to host Saturday Night Live?
Charlie's Angels. Lucy Liu.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm spanking the table. I know why.
Okay. Who was the U.S.'s first postmaster general?
I don't know. Peter Pan.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was an interesting beat, Migs, and somehow you won 5-3.
Yeah.
Happy 420, one day late.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, that was a very bizarre edition.
That was all over the place.
I won.
You did.
That's all that matters.
True. Does anybody know who the U.S.'s first postmaster general was?
Is that C. Everett Koop?
No.
I'm thinking about Davy Jones.
Davy Jones? The guy, in the sea with the locker.
Or the one from the Monkees?
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm trying to picture the guy on the horse.
the guy on the
Paul
horse.
Revere?
Paul Revere.
It's definitely not Paul Revere. At least you're kind of in the same timeline, at least, I think.
Oh.
Johnny Appleseed.
No.
Wow, yeah, that's it.
No,
Same timeline right now.
Ben Franklin. I'm not
Ben
letting
Franklin
you guess
was the
anymore.
first guy. Yeah, I guess C.
Karl
Everett
Malone.
Koop was I think C. Everett Koop was the Surgeon General, but a lot later.
I didn't even ask for a Surgeon General, though. That's the problem.
Oh, what did you? Oh,
The Postmaster General.
Well, that's why I will fail this every time.
And BJ, you have to know who played Matlock.
Yeah, of course, it was Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Opie's dad.
Oh, yeah, because, well, that was, like I said, very interesting. But, Steve, a win's a win, and you got one. So
Thank
congrats.
you.
That's all that matters, Steve.
Not every win the Mariners have had this season have been pretty, but they've gotten plenty of them.
No. There was a recent study where people were asked what very ordinary things have now become their weekly highlights because of, obviously, the sheltering in place and all that, not being able to go out. So it's like, these are just boring, everyday things that you took for granted are now the highlights of your week.
Going to get a cup of going to get a coffee at a coffee stand.
Ooh, you know that, it's not on, how about that? Am I looking? I'm looking. No. How about, and I'm with you, Steve.
We look forward to doing that. We got to get better at it. Sometimes, especially in the weekends, sometimes we do it twice in a day, and it's like, that's not cheap. But it's just, there's nothing else to do. I mean, things are getting better now, but during the pandemic, that was the one thing that kept us sane, that we could still go to a coffee stand and get a coffee and talk to the barista. And, you kind of create a relationship with the people that you see all the time.
Yeah, it's getting, it's definitely getting better. They're letting you sit in some, because I asked, every time I go to a Starbucks, I said, why is it that you guys can't have 50% capacity, but other indoor places can? And they really didn't know. I said, I'm not mad at you for it. I think it's kind of unfair that you guys have all these tables that nobody can sit at, but, but they're now starting to let, there's 2 tables at one of the Starbucks I go to, and they've got probably 20, but only 2 of them can be sat at now inside.
Yeah, we're not sitting there, though. We just do the drive-through.
Oh,
that's what it is. It's just a chance to get out of the house, get a cup of coffee, quick little small talk with somebody that's not the same. You only see so many people. I mean, things are better now, obviously, but for a while, it was sad that we were seeing our barista more than I was seeing my closest friends.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Vic, how about you? What do you look forward to?
And on Naughty Fridays, it was also really cool.
I have no idea what that means.
Fridays, my bad. Yeah.
Naughty Fridays, going to see somebody at a coffee stand. I mean, that really could be a whole.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there are coffee stands where Naughty Fridays is a thing, and I miss that. So, Vicky, what do you? Is there something you look forward to weekly that you go, yeah, this would have been lame under normal circumstances?
Going home to see my dad and cracking open the first drink of the week. Well, weekend. Because that's on Fridays. My dad always jokes like, "What are we drinking? What are we drinking?" It's usually a cider. We'll make mojitos. But every Friday when I get home, we make a drink.
That's awesome.
And I
Just
love
having
it.
a drink.
It's like our first drink of the weekend. We might have another one on the next day, maybe two, depending on what's going on.
So what was his past first drink of the weekend?
This past one, I think it was a Tecate, a beer.
I don't even know what she just said.
It's a beer.
She said a Tecate?
Tecate
Oh,
beer.
a Tecate. Jeez, you said that much more cooler.
Tecate.
Yeah.
The Tecate, BJ.
Tecate. Say it like American, Vicky. Why'd you speak American?
Tecate.
Tecate.
Yes.
You know what though? I was recently my wife gave me props because of you, Vicky, because I said Ortega. And she laughed her ass off because, she says, "What do you mean, Ortega? What do you do?" I go, "It's
Ortega.
Vicky's influence." Every time you hear Vicky speak Spanish, you know you're so lame when you try. You got to do it her way, or otherwise it's just not legit.
What's the context of it? Were you just like, I'm thinking
Well, there's a
of
street
man
called
named-
there was a street called Ortega,
Okay.
like the Ortega Boulevard. And I said, "I'm going to take the Ortega Boulevard," and she was like, "Really? Aren't you fancy?"
Next
Instead
time
of
go
just
like, "Hey, ¿cómo estás, mi amor? How are you, my love?"
"Oh, ¿cómo estás, mi amor?"
Mi amor.
We need a little,
Maybe don't grunt like Steve, but kind of.
mi amor.
There we go. By the way, these things you guys are talking about, maybe because these aren't ordinary things. I mean, going to get a coffee is, is definitely an ordinary thing. But, having a drink with your dad and everything just sounds like a fun thing to do no matter what the situation is, like having a first crack of a beverage with your father or your mother or whatever.
But I feel like others would say maybe going to a bar on the weekend, but I'm not doing that. I'm
Well,
going
these
home.
are lame. See, this list
That's
is
why it's
lame. This is lame stuff. This is stuff that you always do during the week, but was never the highlight because you had other cooler things you could do. But because of the pandemic, these things are the highlight of your week. Like number one is exercising. You always exercise usually, but because you can't go anywhere, exercising's the highlight of your week.
It's a chance to get out of the house or just, also just get some privacy in a weird way. Because you don't have anything else to do that can kind of keep you in your own little world for an hour.
Yeah. Like number two is my thing, which, it is unbelievable. Like I always walked, but taking a walk ended up being like a lifesaver for me. Like that was the highlight of my day. I get to go out and take a walk.
Dude, when the weather's nice, my wife and I'm like, where are we going? Are we going Bradley Lake? Are we going Ording Trail? Are we going to get crazy like we did the other day? Actually, it was, I think, yesterday. I think it was the day before. I can't remember. I'm losing track. But we went to Ruston Way in Tacoma.
Oh, so
What?
fancy.
Yeah, we made it a point to
doing?
go during a non-weekend because we tried it on a weekend and it's just balls out nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little tater tot went on a swing for the first time. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, how'd you like it?
I don't know. She's still there, so I think I'll have to go pick her up at some point.
Yeah, at some
No,
point. I mean,
she likes
she,
it,
yeah,
right?
she is still there.
Yeah, she dug it for a little bit, but then she was just kind of like she did. You could tell she wanted off. She's like, I sat in a car for a half hour to get here. I don't really want to sit in this thing and be swung around. She wanted to walk around and stomp on the metal boxes.
Well, that makes sense. Like the swing days, I think, are over.
yeah.
Really, as far as like being lulled by a swing, like little kids are supposedly. She's into the I want to go find everything stage.
Yeah. So I want to pick dandelions. That's her thing right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's frolicking. Isn't that nice? She's into the frolicking stage.
Yes.
Oh, but pick dandelions, frolic, because everything is taller than her. That's the funny thing is like, like a weed is like basically a tree.
Right.
That's awesome. Grocery shopping, people said, just go to the grocery store is like the highlight of their week.
Yeah.
Which used to be the big pain in the ass of the week.
I'm the one that does it in the family, and it's a madhouse all of the time going to the grocery store.
I mean, I think it's a little easier with our hours because, like, if you go at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday, it's not awful. So I love just going. And I did get, it wasn't food, but I did get my free sample at Costco. They gave out tissue boxes. I was excited for something free.
You can't eat it. Why you want it?
It's free.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do miss those days. Every time I go to Trader Joe's and I see the area that used to be the Eat at Joe's area, now it's just like another place to put more stuff to sell. And I get sad. I love to eat at Joe's. That was my favorite thing about going to Trader Joe's. It was like, you knew you're going to get something. And I would always go with my wife. She's like, I'm going to go shopping. Where are you going? Trader Joe's? Oh, yes.
They have some good samples, man. I have to agree.
Oh, yeah, their samples were legit. Now, of course, Costco was out of control with the samples, and that saddens me.
Oh, samples that was nuts. All the old ladies barking like whatever it is. It's like, do you stand around and listen to their pitch, or do you just take it and keep going?
Yeah,
That's
it's a
always
tough
been
one,
my
isn't it?
dilemma.
You wait till someone is taking the fall with
Yes.
getting the pitch, and then you just swoop by and grab and run.
Yeah,
It's a good
I've
call,
already
man.
heard this. This guy right here, he needs to hear the whole thing. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's the ninja grab.
Right, like, I want to enjoy this. Like, do you really need to sell me on a pizza bagel thing?
Yeah,
I'm okay. I think I know what this is.
that's why I like the ones that just don't even look at you and they go, "Look, I got to say this. So here's your pizza bagel made with 100% pizza and 100% bagel."
200% delicious.
Yeah, and then they let you. They know the deal. They know you aren't going to buy this because you can't get especially if they size up the situation. They see your wife. They know she's healthy. She'll go, "Take your bagel, sir. I know your wife's never going to let you get 15 of these."
Right. I don't necessarily need a Costco-sized bag of pizza bites. No one eating it.
Oh, I do. All right. Hey, it is time for Listeners on the Loose. This is your opportunity. This is where you get to pick the topic. You get to guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. We got your calls. We got your texts at 920 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. If there's something weighing on your mind, people got to hear it. Make sure you follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. It's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you and then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
I'm going to read this text message. I'm prefacing it. I'm reading it because our friend Danny V is not here today. He's still quarantining from his trip to visit his daughter, but will be back on Monday. So I'm reading it only because Danny is not here.
Okay.
All right. So this texter says, my girlfriend and I flew to Albuquerque over the weekend to see if Danny was full of baloney about Dion's Pizza being the best pizza in the world.
And?
My girlfriend Maddie ordered the Duke City, and I got the special, and let me tell you, it was out of this world amazing. Best pizza, hands down.
What?
The green chilies added so much flavor that the Duke Pizza is now my new favorite pizza over the Hawaiian.
Whoa.
I think you all owe Danny an apology, and definitely try Dion's if you are near one.
What? How is this possible?
Now, Joe, I'd like for you to delete that from the daily podcast that we put out, just in case if Danny listens.
Done and done. Point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Apparently, it's legit, BJ.
As I refuse to believe that Albuquerque could make good pizza over any other place in this country. I mean, come on, you got to be kidding me.
No, did they just
believe it?
Did they really fly to Albuquerque mainly just to see if Danny was full of crap or not? Because they said in the text, and maybe he's just exaggerating and having some fun with it, but they said they flew to Albuquerque over the weekend just to see if Danny was full of baloney about Dion's Pizza.
That's again. You talk about taking a trip or doing something, just to, maybe this is the first time they can fly. You know, they feel that maybe they're fully vaccinated and they're fine with it. Or they just, you got boku bucks and you can just fly wherever you want to fly to.
Or maybe someone in their family is a flight attendant or someone that could put them on standby. Because I have a friend, he is a wrestler and he worked out the greatest it is. He has a friend that is a flight attendant and she has him as his, I guess, I don't know,
the buddy pass?
The buddy pass.
Really?
The husband, even though he's not married to her.
Oh, the sicko.
And he gets access to this website that tells you what's how many people are on standby, this and so he'll just randomly be craving a type of sandwich in San Francisco, and it's flying to San Francisco, and I'm like, you guys, all these posts about flying all these different places. Finally, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? How much money are you spending? He goes, no, and he explained to me how he pulled this off. I'm like,
wow,
that is awesome. He's a single dude, doesn't have any care in the world, and just picks up and just goes to random places just to go eat something for a day.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's baller, even if he's finding a way around it,
Yeah.
Still super cool sounding.
If you got nothing better to do, just get on a plane and go somewhere and go eat something.
That sounds like a dream come true to me.
Be so
I mean,
fat.
You're right. That's because I would do it. I definitely want. I want to go and see if in fact Dion's is good. I want to go to Albuquerque and check this out now,
dude. Yeah, he says, yep, we flew there just for the pizza, and they're vaccinated, so they're able to pull all that stuff off.
Wow.
Good on them, man.
What?
And the person says, yeah, New Mexico, they add green chili to everything. That's why it's the best.
Is green chili not hot?
Green chili, I think, has a kick to it. Is it like the Hatch green chili or something?
I don't think it's that spicy, but there is a kick.
Yeah.
Because it's not a super big pepper, but it's not tiny either. The smaller the pepper, the spicier it typically is.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's not too much of a kick, I'm willing to give it a try. Because to replace Hawaiian, because Hawaiian is my favorite pizza, and he said it replaced his favorite pizza being Hawaiian with this new, what is it, the Duke? I mean,
the Duke.
Okay.
And what's in the Duke?
Cheddar.
Don't answer.
Wow.
Cheddar, turkey, green chili, and Parmesan.
Actually, that sound pretty good.
Super basic, but I mean, with the green chili.
I don't want to say Dion's is good.
Well, that's why we're saying this now while Danny's not here. On Monday, we go back to hating on Dion's.
Yeah, and this is why we can never go to Albuquerque and never have any.
At least not with him.
Yeah.
He will never hear the... we'll
denial. It will be denial no matter what. Yeah, as far as we know, we're going to always hate that pizza.
So it's also going to be pretty cheap to go to Albuquerque because who really wants to go fly to Albuquerque?
True. That's a good point. Very good point.
Oh, someone says I had a couple from Albuquerque in my car while driving for Uber, and I asked them about Dion's Pizza, and they confirmed with Danny saying it is the best.
That's just you think of all the things Albuquerque could be known for, they having the best pizza in the country. Really, I mean, there should be a competition.
Well, what else is it going to be? Blue meth?
Yes.
Yeah, blue meth. I mean, come on, that's what they're known for.
And pizza on the roof of your house.
Exactly. And we just figured it was Dion's pizza because nobody wanted to eat it.
It's so bad, I can't eat this. It's more useful as being a patch for a hole in a roof.
That's it.
Someone said my mom worked for a Western in Delta for 35 years, and we flew down to Portland for dinner once. That's awesome. Just for the F of it. Just getting on a plane and flying somewhere just solely to eat something. I've never done that.
If I could do that, it would absolutely be going to Chicago to get Chicago deep dish.
It is good.
Okay.
And it's just, I've had it shipped to my house for my birthday, so going there would be even better.
See, I'd rather just fly to New York and get the good pizza, the real pizza.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, your flat
pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Not my pizza cake.
Okay.
It's casserole, sir.
Yeah. Come on.
Go to Lenny and John's in Brooklyn, the place I grew up eating at. I haven't had a slice there in forever, but I still follow them on all my social media pages. And every time I see pictures of it, I'm like, oh, I want to go there again.
Yeah. I was just thinking a good cup of New England clam chowder. That's what I'd fly back and get some.
Ooh.
Maybe with a lobster roll.
See, I want to fly to Maine just to get a lobster roll. I've never had a lobster roll.
Yeah, well, that's a good place to go. Maine is known for their lobster.
Yeah, they've got food trucks of just lobster rolls.
That's
not a bad deal.
Amazing.
I hear New York has really good hot dogs too. I'd like to go to New York just to get a hot dog.
Oh, like the on the corner
Yeah,
in
the street
Manhattan and the
ones.
hot dog flavored water.
Yes!
Yeah, that's the thing is they stick them all in water all the time. Like
That's how I ate them growing up.
It's the red onion sauce that they put on it is amazing. But I would want to go just to get the pretzels. Like those pretzels. I don't even know. I've tried to find them online, and people always send me links, and they're not the right ones. Like there's a specific kind.
Yeah.
Like there's New York style that people will say, but they have. I got to find someone that actually owns one of those like push carts and get the hookup. You don't think?
Again, if you got that baller either situation where you're flying standby or you got the cash, do it.
Yeah, I'll buy in bulk. I mean, we got a freezer.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, right.
206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. It is Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. We got more of your calls. We got more of your texts at 9:33 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
The Russian invasion.
The heroic Ukrainian resistance.
It's the biggest land war in Europe since World War II.
And the War in Ukraine Daily brings it all to you.
From Moscow to Washington.
From Kyiv to Mariupol.
The War in Ukraine Daily talks to newsmakers around the world.
And to the everyday Ukrainians whose very existence is threatened.
Hear the heartbreaking stories of those caught in the war.
But also hear about the acts of bravery as history is being made.
I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Charles Feldman, inviting you to join us.
The War in Ukraine Daily on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. next.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You find yourselves trying to get your Craig Mac on and put some brand new flavor in your ear? Well, funny you should mention that because we have a brand new show that you should check out. It is called Pod Sauce. It is your podcast discovery show.
Everyone's always looking for a podcast recommendation. We got lots of them for you, from true crime to pop culture. And you can join us each week as we dish on all of our favorite podcasts out there. So make sure you download the Odyssey app and search Pod Sauce, or head on over to podsauce.com.
We got you covered, guys.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
BJ.
Whoa, what happened? Oh, boy.
Apparently Danny was listening to our show. And I just got a text message from him that just says, ha, 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 I told you. I'll be waiting for that apology. Hashtag Dion's rules.
Yeah, tell him he can be waiting for the apology once I get done with the diarrhea from that place. How about that?
This fictional diarrhea from this fictional pizza you've never had?
Oh, I'm going to get diarrhea now. I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm going to go full D.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Full D.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm not going to give in to this, Steve. Denial all the way.
What the hell? Well, there you go. That's just great. Now we have to just deal with the fact that Danny knows that we know that Dion's Pizza is actually good.
These are just two crazy listeners that probably, are on the run, and they're probably criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't trust their opinion. Sorry. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Earlier we were talking about just like the random things that teens nowadays will have no idea what we mean by them. And some of the texters have been chiming in with some of the stuff that they have for that. One person says, how about those naughty 900 numbers? I used to call those when I was a kid using Dad's credit card.
Yeah.
What kind of the conversation's got to be awkward.
If there are people that do not pay attention to their credit card stuff. So maybe that, or they hope. But yeah, you're right. Once you're found out, I don't know how you get out of that one.
It's a good point. You have to hope that I'm your parent, because I don't pay attention to anything. But then you want to hope that my wife is not your parent, because she's on top of that stuff all the time. Like, hey, how come? Because she's always worried about our stuff being stolen, and actually cares about where our money's going. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not getting declined for anything, so I think we're doing good. Because I never check what my payments are. So yeah, you got to make sure you have the right parents for something like that. My mom was onto it when I tried to order a porn on my on the cable. And then she was like way too smart for my own attempt to try and cover up, because I was like, I ordered White Men Can't Hump. And
oh, yeah, great. Great flick.
When I was a teen, I specifically ordered that one because I was like, if I get busted, I have an out. I could say I thought I was ordering White Men Can't Jump, the movie.
Yes, of course. It seems like a perfect alibi.
And I did get busted, and I tried to use that excuse, and then my mom just walks over and pulls out the VHS I have of White Men Can't Jump, and she's like, well, why would you order it if we already have it on VHS?
Oh, boy.
And at that point, I'm like, well, what do I owe you? I'll never do it again.
Oh, yeah, if you live with somebody that's a good sleuth, don't even try.
Yeah, she's like, we're on to you, you idiot.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are you going to do? I mean, you got teenage boys in the house. What do you expect?
So it says, I remember my aunt paid for a year of call waiting for my birthday one year. I think I was 12. I thought it was so cool. And it's from Rose in Tacoma. Yeah, that's right. There were times when you actually had to pay for call waiting.
Yes. Yeah. And this is all stemming from the fact that Reddit, people on Reddit sharing things today that teenagers just would not understand that you did when you were younger. Like calling a phone number and having to ask if the person was there. Because usually when you call a number, you're calling that person's cell phone. Of course they're there if they answer. But you literally call the house.
Is
hey,
Christopher
Steve,
there?
Yeah. And that's totally true. And you also had to say who you were, like, hello, this is, Schlemke, is Christopher there? Because the parents would be so mad at you. Who is this? What do you don't say hello? You don't, all that rigmarole.
The most terrifying thing was when, if you had, a female friend and you were calling, hey, is Vicky there? And the dad would always be like, who's this? And you're like, I'm just her friend. I swear she doesn't find me attractive. I just want to talk about hockey. That's all. And, you freak out. You start getting nervous. You just hang up the phone. I'm like, oh, my God, he's going to kill me.
Or if you're calling, your secret boyfriend, in middle school, and you're like, hi, is this, Christopher there? It's like, oh, who's this? Oh, and I'm just like, I have to talk to your mom. What if she secretly hates me and you're going to break up with me because of her?
Oh, and to piggyback on this, the teens nowadays would have no idea about the times when your parent would pick up the phone and eavesdrop by listening to your conversation on the landline.
But you can tell when somebody,
Oh, yeah.
because it would make that weird noise and you could kind of hear that somebody else was there. And it's like, get off the phone to your little brother.
Does anybody remember what it was like to have to turn to Channel 3 to play a video game? Because that was brought up.
I don't remember that. I'm sure I had to, but I don't remember that.
I remember we had the little clicker because basically you'd have to go to like the UHF stations.
Yes.
And you'd have to click it over and flip it over because you'd either be able to do that or also watch like channel 22. You can only pick it up during that with that signal as well.
Oh, that's right. When you had the antennas. Oh, my gosh, we're so old. The antennas were like, there were certain channels that you had to switch to the UHF, not the VHF, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything that had anything that was like, into the 20s, usually you knew. Anything beyond the teens, you knew was going to be a UHF channel.
There was a wrestling, I think UWF wrestling I was able to get that way, and I remember being so pumped. I was like, this is amazing. I'm watching Sting and Jim Ross.
And there were two channels. I think it was 3 and 4 or 2 and 3. These were channels that weren't always used in every area. Like every area didn't use 2 and 3 at the same time, or didn't use 3 and 4 at the same time. That's why, but most of the time it was channel 3, which I would turn to play my Atari 2600, my Intellivision. Oh, yeah.
How about this section? Is actually turning the dial to change a TV channel. All of the 5 of them that were available. Dude, I saw somebody posted a meme and it just cracked me up. It's like, back in my days, this was the remote control and it was just a shot of a child standing next to a television holding the dial. Yeah, that was me. I was the remote control. My dad's like, make it louder. All right. Put on channel 11. All right. Like, that was all I did. I was changing channels.
You did a great job.
I feel like I was pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, you really were. I mean, it's too bad that they don't have that as a full-time job.
So I said, how about having to hang up the phone to use the internet?
Oh, or just hearing that signal.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the one. Oh, yeah.
Joe, do you even know this?
Joe looks so confused.
I do, but it's giving me like nightmares. I hated that sound.
It's giving me anxiety. Is it going to connect?
Yeah.
I got pictures I need to download.
At the very, very slow rate.
Yeah, good luck to you. And then all you're seeing is the things we settled for like naked pictures back then. We were like, hey, I think is that? Oh, that's just a square block, but I think that's like her. Oh, wow.
Lakewood Larry has a good one. Remember cordless phones that you could hear your neighbors' conversations?
Oh,
that was the best.
Yeah, every once in a while you'd be like, hey, can they hear me? Because I can hear them.
Right?
Oh, my goodness. Did you ever hear any like juicy drama or gossip? Oh.
Yeah, nothing really.
It was always the boring stuff.
Like, you slept with your assistant. How dare you?
None of that. Yeah,
fantastic.
Nothing great.
No, if you saw my neighbors, no one was sleeping with them. I'm shocked they even had children.
Wow.
Damn.
Dang.
Shade.
Oh,
how about stopping
anymore, so whatever.
How about stopping at a gas station to ask for directions, which I used to have to do so much?
That was I kind of lucked into I feel like we were like just getting into the MapQuest generation by the time I was driving.
Yeah,
so I had for all my friends, everyone I had like the back part of my in the back of your seat, your front seat, like you'd have like a pocket that could put stuff in. All I had were folded MapQuest papers, like for all of my friends. Like, oh, this is where Matthew lives. This is where, and I had to write like on a Sharpie Matthew's house, and so that way I didn't have to constantly ask them where they lived. That's
exactly how I started 20 years ago when I moved here. Map and the Thomas Guide.
My dad has been working for a cable company for many years, which has him driving around. And when I was a kid, I remember they had these giant books, like these giant stack books with maps of everywhere in our area. So you have like Snohomish, Lake Stevens, Everett, and now obviously they just use their phone. But he had multiple of these giant books, just so you can get everywhere.
I bet that was the Thomas Guide because that was the standard. That was the gold standard. You used to think it was Rand McNally, but the Thomas Guide was the legit one. If you really, we go, oh, no, you want to get that if you want to figure out your way around a city.
Or when we moved to Seattle, my college buddies and I, we contacted AAA and they sent you a mapped out way to get
the
here.
Triptych.
Is that what it was called?
It's called the Triptych is the bomb.
Yeah, and it had coupons for hotels and like restaurants. It was actually pretty cool.
Oh, dude, it saved my life, the trip tick. It's one of the reasons why I joined AAA. Not so much even to get towed. It was because I never knew where the hell I was going. And they would do a turn-by-turn. They give you the big notebook of turn-by-turn pages.
Vicky's showing it to me. I can't. It just, that brings back so many memories.
Oh, I love
forgot.
that.
I don't even know if we paid for it. I don't even remember how that worked. Like, was it just part of like your subscription?
Yeah,
to
it was.
AAA?
It was part of being part of. Yeah, you could just say to them, "Hey, I'm going from point A to point B," and they would send you this. It was great.
Mm-hmm. It was. Dude, that's how we got. I mean, that was the way that we were able to get here.
That's why I was always very surprised. You know, you think, who's going to be the ones that would have a map, a digital map? You know, like it was Garmin. Garmin was the one that we, before our phones were our maps. Garmin was the one that I always had. But I always thought AAA would find a way. You know, it's like it seemed like or Rand McNally or some map company would be the ones to be able to just make the transfer into digital, but it was never them.
Wow, someone says you can still get a trip tick. Did they just send you a link to your Apple Maps?
That's a really
That'd
good
be
question.
funny. Like, here, type in this URL, buy an app.
There are people that, you know, I just saw this old dude that had a flip phone, so there's no way that, you know, he can map his way to anywhere, so he's a trip tip guy. He must be.
Oh, it looks like trip tick could just be, it's now like a digital version.
Yeah, I think it's an app, which,
That's
still cool.
Everything's an app now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Was that me? Indoor thoughts.
Wow.
I'm glad everything's an app now.
Yeah, Rev does not sound like he's happy about that.
Sorry, old person moment.
Yeah, I guess so. This is happening very quickly for you. I remember when you were a young person.
Yeah, well, that was 20 years ago, BJ. I mean,
but he was always younger than me. I don't expect anybody to sound older than me.
Probably still going to be younger than you.
Yeah, maybe. But I think if people were to, you know, I mean, you're starting to, up in the brain, it's starting to happen.
Get off my lawn.
Since you mentioned like that map, like the Apple Map, shout out to whoever decided to throw in the warnings when you're coming up to a camera light on your
red light warning.
Yeah, dude, it's so awesome. It's just nice to know because sometimes
that is very nice.
It's like then you can be super prepared if it turns yellow. I'm like, I'm not effing with this one.
And you don't get the surprise of the ticket in the mail.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they have that on Google Maps. So it tells you that the light's about to change?
No, it'll tell you if there's a camera at that light, so that way, like, you know,
a red light camera.
Yeah,
the tickets.
Gotcha. Oh,
that way you don't get a ticket. And also, if like there's like a speed zone, it'll tell you. Like, they're on top of it, man.
Well, you know what,
Apple,
they're going to have to do a lot to get me. Only because of the fact I used it early on. I'm sure they're much better than when they first launched Apple Maps, but man, I still don't trust them ever since they got me lost way back when they first launched.
Well, they probably won't have you drive into a lake anymore.
That's
probably.
true.
But you know what? I don't want to give them the chance to maybe make that happen.
Oh, how about this one? On long drives, only having a CD player and no internet or tablet. Dude, I remember when we made the trip cross country, I remember I got the Discman. I was all pumped. I got the adapter that goes into the cassette player. I'm like, man, we're going to be high tech. Got the CDs ready to go. We get the U-Haul. No cassette player.
Oh, no.
So then we just had to rely on the radio. And if going cross country, there are many pockets of America where there is no good radio to listen to.
I remember.
You're right.
I remember driving through Nebraska, and literally the only thing on every single station was the same high school football game.
Yeah,
I couldn't handle it.
Oh yeah,
it's like you get to a point where you're like, just put static on. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just listen to static.
Yeah, good call. Got a big question that needs to be answered right now. What do Ryan Castle and Arnold Schwarzenegger have in common? You know I'm going to tell you at 9:51 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. So Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Patrick, he was on the Kelly Clarkson show a couple days ago. And I love this question. This is a really good question she asked. She said, hey, does your dad use his catchphrases in everyday life? Because Arnold's got a lot of great catchphrases from all over the years in all the movies.
I know I would if I was Arnold all the time.
And I thought this was a really good question that nobody I've ever heard asked, but Patrick says people ask him this all the time. And he also says, and yes, my dad does this all the time. The obvious one is like when his father leaves a room and, you know, Arnold's walking out of the room, he'll turn his back and he'll go, I'll be back. And Patrick's like, really, Dad? Is that what we're doing here right now?
Dude, I would do that every time I'm like getting off the phone with someone. Like, all right, good talk to you. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. So you think he's ever, when he left, because he's had a couple of different wives, do you think he's just said, consider that a divorce? Like,
oh, jeez.
I mean,
and does he F with it, like, change it up a little bit? Like, instead of, like, get to the chopper, he's telling his kid to brush his teeth. Brush your chompas.
I like it. If he doesn't, he really should. Oh, man. Ryan Castle, he's got a 12-pack. That's up next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
They just did a survey saying what simple pleasures in life make people happiest. Well, number 3 is me. You guys probably can guess what the number 3 simple pleasure is that is my number 1.
Yelling at customer service.
That's all right. Okay, it's my number 2.
Yelling during board games.
Okay, that's my number 3. I keep forgetting.
Making strippers cry.
Yeah!
At least that one's not yelling.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.